Good morning, I'm here in Descanso, trying to get some bird watching done. Today, I'm in Descanso Gardens. This is my first bird watch of 2024, so I'm hoping to kick off the year with a bang. In the past here at Descanso, I've gotten a list as long as 26 species. Looking at the eBird statistics, a more seasoned eye could probably get into 30s or even 40s here. My goal is to break my personal best and get more than 26 species here today. I've decided Descanso is my favorite local spot to birdwatch, so it was relaxing to start my 2024 off right here in my comfort zone. Today was sunny, and I will be lucky to see many birds. On top of that, after a weekend of rain, it was awesome to see the sunbeams sucking the moisture right out of the wood. My first catch inside the park was this loud, dark-eyed junco. I usually don't get to hear their bird song, so this was a great start to the walk. I came across a half dozen acorn woodpeckers hanging out in the trees. They can be difficult to capture on video sometimes because you can never predict how long they'll stay somewhere or where they'll go to next. But I was able to get a few good tripod shots today. "2024 should be an exciting year. My girlfriend and I are relocating with our dog to another part of the US this year. So there are a few things on my to-do list before I go. I'll get more into that later. Since it's the winter here in Southern California, the white-crowned sparrows have come. They're pretty numerous during this time of year and very identifiable by their zebra-like striped head. Oh yeah, nice. Perfect. Not too long after that, I spotted my first hermit thrush without referencing any guidebooks. It felt good to be able to look at a bird and realize what attributes to look at to identify it. Like here, the colors didn't catch my eye, however, I noticed it had an unusual beak shape from what I normally see. So it made me think of a hermit thrush. Let me know if you think it's a hermit thrush or something else down below. While I was waiting for the thrush to come back, a nosy little Buick came by instead. While I was waiting too, I used the Merlin Bird ID app to see what was around me, like the spotted towhee and yellow-rumped warbler. Fun interruptions aside, my goal today is to make it to the lake at Descanso to mark off some water birds off of my life list. I haven't really focused on them much, so I want to spend 2024 learning more about them and not just calling them ducks. Before I made it to the lake, however, I spotted this big guy sunning. Not exactly a bird, but still pretty cool to see. Not only that, but there was an air battle happening above me. I think it was some crows chasing off red-tailed hawks. Back to my 2024 goals. With a big move across the country on the horizon, I want to make these last few months in Southern California count. So I want to check off as many California birds on my life list as I can before I leave. Once I'm out of town, it's going to be a lot harder to find some birds I've grown used to, like hummingbirds and quail. This is good practice. It wasn't much longer until the crows chased off the hawks to somewhere else. So I'm by the lake at Descanso, and I'm very lucky. I found a bunch of water ducks. It's a bright sunny day, and I found a couple different species of birds here. Some of them even just pop up right on the tree behind me. It's pretty fun. Alright, I'm chasing an oak titmouse. Let's see how this goes. It goes poorly. After catching a few glimpses of some social titmouse and ruby-crowned kinglet, I refocused on the lake. Today there was a flock of American widgeons. I'm definitely showing my young bird watching age here, but this is a lifer for me. American widgeons are pretty identifiable by their green facial stripe across the male's eye. Both males and females have a little black mark at the tip of their bill, though. They are not to be confused with mallards. After a few minutes, I noticed some commotion in a bush, and that's when I noticed a familiar friend here at Descanso, a green heron. I even got to see his crazy neck range on display. Here they were on the hunt from above, perching still in a bush. Another goal I have for 2024 is to have an epic bird day, one that surpasses the number of species I saw in 2023. That means I need to see a total of 73 different birds in one day. This is certainly achievable with some proper planning. If I want to accomplish a bird day that intense, I'm gonna need to visit a birding hotspot and have some dedication. I'm open to suggestions, but I'm thinking somewhere along the Rio Grande. Before I left the lake, I saw a couple more ruby-crowned kinglets, but man, they are hard to capture. Instead, I focused on the oak titmouse that were still around. To decorate our new home, we're gonna need some more art. In 2023, I hung and sold some of my work. This year, I want to repopulate my walls with new stunning bird photography, like hummingbirds and owls. While heading towards the back of the park to check on a hummingbird nest I discovered last year, I found a red-tailed hawk up in the trees above. It's more brown. I didn't find the hummingbird nest, but that's okay. I think this was a good trade. I wrapped up near the oldest area of the park and captured some more woodpeckers. I used to have a lot of trouble identifying woodpeckers, but this trip helped me see the differences firsthand. Acorn woodpeckers, which I think there are more of in the park, have a solid patterned face, where the Nuttall's woodpecker has a stripy design on their face, and also their striped back, and I think they're generally smaller. So here's a Nuttall's woodpecker. You can tell by the striped facial patterns, and also their striped back. And here is an acorn woodpecker with a slightly bigger body and a simpler face pattern, and a solid back. I also spotted some classics. So after this trip, I was really pleased. I set a new personal best here at the park with 29 species in one trip. This sets my 2024 bird count to 38. That's like halfway on my way to what I had last year. Stay tuned for the next video, where my girlfriend and I attempt to break today's record in a 2 versus 1 face-off. Have a great day, everyone.